Afternoon. I'm practiced with this camera now. Hopefully you can see me. I've got one bar on my battery. I've never had to contend with battery life for cameras in the past, so yeah, this could be a bit dicey as far as getting it done. I don't know. Yeah, and having used it now, I've realised that the microphone picks up better if you're behind the camera rather than in front of it. But shit, just lost the bar. Ooh, dicey. So, is it worth carrying on? I don't know. Anyway, got a little thing on the lens now. Piss off thing. I'll have a quick go. If it finishes, you know. And it's a good thing about this camera, not having a lens, not having a viewfinder. It's like pot luck. It's random. You have no idea what you're shooting. So you know, I find that quite exciting. But yeah, sat outside. People over the back have been building an extension for what seems like months. They've moved on from the digging stage to the sawing really loudly stage. So that you might hear that in the background. But enough of that. Otherwise, I will run out of battery for my camera. But anyway. Yeah, this is CDs, television, and mostly films. But yeah, I'll crack on. Otherwise, like I said, I will run out of battery power. First two, so to speak. Ooh, exciting! Two of the same thing. Well, you might think. Last Sunday, it's now Saturday. Last Sunday, I went to see Badly Drawn Boy at the Barbican. It was like a reunion tour of this album, the Arab Wildebeest album. But I thought, you know, in preparation for that, I'll buy the album, because I did have it, but it's gone walkabout. So I'll buy the album, and no, wrong one. Poundland, got it from Poundland, the Lowe's in Poundland. Open it up. Obviously, that's not the right album, is it? That's Have You Fed the Fish, or the second album, the one after it. So well done, Poundland. So. I had to I went back to Poundland, bought another one, and luckily this time it had the right disc in it. Brilliant album, seminal 90s album, Mercury Wolverine album. I didn't have this album actually, or this CD anyway, but it does annoy me. It's a bit of a mishmash. So, you know, I've got a case. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. It's going to annoy me, but I might have to bin the case and stick the CD in a wallet or something. I don't know, but anyway. But either way, it was a brilliant gig, by the way. Seating was a bit odd. Never been to a seating gig before, but it was a sort of reverence. It was very sort of reverential. Everybody was. There was a lot of love in the air. But you know, downside of the night, it was a Sunday night. Finished at 10:30. Me and my mate Country Mike, you know, had to go home. Or no, actually. We thought, no, let's go to Leicester Square. Surely there's got to be somewhere open in Leicester Square. The only two places that were open was something that looked like there was a private party on, and the other one was a strip club. And we bottled going into the strip club. But yeah, right. Anyway, three lots of TV stuff here. Girls, I don't have Sky. I've heard this is supposed to be good. Obviously, looking at it, you think, what are you buying that for? You're not a girl, but you know. I'm open-minded, and I know this is supposed to be. It's got a really good reputation. So I've read only good things about this, and I've liked a lot of what Lena Dunham's done in the past. So and it's supposed to be real. It's supposed to be how women are. You know, not being a woman, I don't really know, but from my limited knowledge of women, you know, hopefully I'll be able to sort of tally up what I watch. But it's supposed to be good. That sounds like absolute bollocks, isn't it? But it was £1 in charity. No, it wasn't actually. It was in a charity shop where they have a tray outside and everything's 50p. And I took it to the counter and the old dear in there said, shouldn't that be 50p? And they charged me 50p. I thought, what a nice old dear from the charity shop. Deadwood, this was, I've already taken the price off, it's only £2.50. Always wanted to watch Deadwood. I think I've seen about the first 3 or 4 episodes. Really enjoyed it. Quite difficult to get into because of the language. The language is almost like Shakespearean, it's sort of impenetrable. A lot of swearing, which, you know, sort of takes the edge off slightly, but it's often repeated on telly, so this might not really be that necessary because it always comes around, you know, comes around again, just at least to bide your time. But Yeah, I mean, if I don't never get around to it, like I said, there you go. Probably it'll come round sooner or later, but I mean, I did have half an eye on how much. This was only £2.50. This would get me £6 in CX. I mean, £2.50 in a usually quite expensive charity shop, but I know this is supposed to be good, and it's sort of relaunched. What's his name? What's his name? I forgot his name. Ian. What's his name? Ian McShane. Ian McShane, isn't it? Yeah. Lovejoy. Relaunched his career. Seminal 90s satirical comedy, A Day to Day. I get this mixed up with Brass Eye. They're both Chris Morris. This is sort of spoof news broadcast. I can remember seeing this when I was a kid. Probably shouldn't have been watching it, but I had no idea that it wasn't actually real. It was just, I didn't really understand it. I'm getting attacked by bees. Yeah, I think this launched the career of Alan Partridge as a sports broadcaster. It was the first appearance of the Alan Partridge character. But, yeah, this will be a nice sort of trip down memory lane. This is just seminal, brilliant stuff, really satirical, big piss take. In a charity shop, this came with that copy of Ghost Squad I got in my last video game pickups. Infidel. This is in a sort of a buy one get one free. They're £1 each, so essentially 50p. I didn't really know too much about it, but I did know it was written by David Baddiel, and I've got a lot of time for David Baddiel. He's, I know he sort of started off in this sort of rock and roll comedian, like career, but now he's sort of matured into more of a, sort of weighty sort of personality, and he's got a lot to say. And I think the cover doesn't do this justice. I don't think. I think it's got a bit more to say than the cover. The cover makes it look like a Rob Schneider film, but I'm okay with. Got a good cast, and I wasn't too sure about it, but it was only 50p, and I don't know. It's just a it's a bit of a. The idea is that the guy is born a Muslim and discovers he's a Jew. It's a bit 50-50, but I think it's in safe hands with David Baddiel. I've not watched it yet, but 50p. One that I've been on the lookout for, really wanted to watch, World's End, third in the Edgar Wright series after Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. It's supposed to be just as good, I think, from what I've heard. But it's something I've really wanted to see, but missed it in the cinema, and wasn't willing to pay full price DVD. But yeah, it's supposed to be really good. If anybody's seen it, let me know. This one I have seen. I would have liked the different issue. It's the Castle of Cagliostro, Studio Ghibli, brilliant Miyazaki animation, early from the 70s. Was it 1980? 1980, and these things don't date. It's the Lupin the Third's character. Him, he's like a master criminal, and it's basically like a caper, what you'd call a caper, but in animation form. Anime. He's a master thief, and it's very very much done for laughs. And there's an evil dude in it. They're always really evil. The evil ones in this, or in these earlier ones they are, but maybe not so much in the later ones. But at the end, he gets chased by the police and Interpol and stuff like that. And it's I would have liked the Miyazaki or the Studio Ghibli release, but 99p, I can't really complain. But they just don't date, do they? Particularly the technology just doesn't date, and the animation's just always going to be stunning. This will be one that people like. Big Trouble in Little China. I can remember seeing this when I was at school and loving it. Everyone saw it who loved it. I remember going. I think it was on telly one night when I was at secondary school, and everyone went into school the next day doing that sort of finger thing. Is it like that? Yeah. The yellow dude's doing that initial fight at the beginning. But, yeah, what a brilliant film, and you can't really go wrong with John Carpenter and Kurt Russell films, can you? It's fantastic, so funny. And I mean, like what is it? The Thing and Escape from New York. you know, they tend to work well together, and it's probably not quite in the same quality as those two, but because they're like seminal genre films, aren't they? But this is just it's brilliant anyway, isn't it? Yeah, Big Trouble in Little China, and it's a 2-disc set apparently, which is yes, it's all in the reflexes. Shit, I'm fucking racing through this because I've got no bars on my battery. The Bothersome Man, a Norwegian dark, very deadpan comedy. Which you tend to get. There's another one actually. There's another comedy, Norwegian one called O Horton, which has exactly the same tone. I don't know what that is about Norwegians, but it's very surreal about a man who wakes up he gets kicked off a bus one day and into this weird town, not knowing what he was doing there. And this town, it's very clean and controlled, but it's got no personality at all. Everybody just goes about their daily business and no one complains. But he knows there's something not quite right, and he sort of decides to basically sort of live the life that he's found himself in. But he always knows something's not quite right, and he starts to question why he's there and stuff. And it's really funny, deadpan, dark. It's The Bothersome Man. Subtitles obviously being Norwegian, but it's I highly recommend this actually. This was in a charity shop for £2, and that was a bit of a no-brainer for me because that was right up on my list. This last one, another dark comedy, probably a lot darker than The Bothersome Man. It's called Black Pond. I've only seen bits of this. It was one Christmas. I wanted to watch it, but it clashed with something else I really wanted to watch, and I saw about the first half an hour, and loved it. Really interesting, really unique. It's sort of like got a bit of a kitchen sink sort of realism to begin with, but then I think it from that point it descends into something a bit darker. It's about his family, and they have this I forgot what this one of them invites this homeless man to stay or something, and he ends up dying. Can't remember, but it's got a weird cast list. It's got Simon Amstell in it, which is a bit odd to begin with. He plays some sort of weird therapist, I think. I can't remember. Like I said, I've only seen about half of it. And also, I won't go into reasons why this is pretty dark, but when I've read blurb about this film, it doesn't often reference it, but it's pretty significant. The fact it's got Chris Langham in it. If anybody knows who Chris Langham is, they'll know why that's significant. But I suppose this is part of some sort of rehabilitation. I don't know, but it's significant. But it's interesting that reviews never reference his presence in the film. But I suppose he's been given a chance. But I won't go into too much detail on that if you don't really know what the issue is. But aside from that, I suppose that could take away from the quality of the film. Aside from that, the film, from what I saw of it, half of it. It was brilliant, really good, really interesting, quite unique, dark, Brit comedy, might be up up other people's street, I don't know. But last two, both from Poundland, by Nicholas Winding Refn, very violent, Valhalla Rising. Seen this before, it's very good. It has the same sort of atmosphere, same quality as Nicholas Winding Refn's. Other films like Only God Forgives, Drive, The Pusher, what's the other ones? Bronson, I forgot. Yeah, but anyway, this character, he's a Viking in Britain, northern Britain, who's been kept as a slave to fight in a sort of basically like a sort of slave pits to fight, and he escapes, and then he's employed by these pagan Britons to take them to the New World, to America, I think, and it all gets a bit trippy. It doesn't really have an end, which I like that about it, and it's very stylish, and it all goes a bit odd, and you will get lost at the end. It goes a bit zen, but I've seen films like that before and I love them. That's never a problem with me. In fact, it doesn't really end conventionally, but it's called Valhalla Rising, and it's really good. Bloody violent. Finally, inside 15 minutes, wow, record. Another one from Poundland, not one you'd necessarily know, but this is very significant to me, a bit of nostalgia. Christmas Story. I saw this in the cinema way back when you would get to see two films at once in the cinema. You'd see a main feature, but before it, you'd see a B movie, and I saw this before. I can't remember what it was. It could have been Star Trek 2, could have been Superman 2. I've tried to work out what the film was that I saw this with. I've not been able to. It's a Christmas film. It has a voiceover in the style of the Wonder Years. It's got that sort of like kitchen sink family comedy about it. A bit more slapstick than the Wonder Years, maybe less realistic. But it's got a lot of nostalgia for this. It's sort of stuck in my head. I've only ever seen it once before this, but something about it's really stuck in my head. It's very, very underrated. Probably deserves more praise than it actually gets. But yeah, this kid, he basically, the storyline is that he wants an air gun for Christmas, but his mum won't get it for him because it will shoot his eye out with it. That's what she tells him. But it's set in 1940s, and you know, I remember certain details about it. Like there's a bully in it who's got yellow eyes. That always stuck in my head. The yellow-eyed bully. But it's called A Christmas Story, and it's a bit of a nostalgia for me. Give it a go, actually. I think it probably endures. I mean, I loved it when I saw it, but I think it's probably you know, it's probably one of these sorts of films that, you know, doesn't betray your nostalgia, because sometimes that happens, and I hate it when that happens. You know, you love a film that you saw as a kid, you watch it again and you go, what the fuck was I thinking? But anyway. But this is a quality one. But only downside is that I put it into my DVD player, and the DVD player sort of got to about 25 minutes and stopped playing it. So I had to rub the disc on my shorts, and hopefully it played after that. But hopefully it'll continue to play. But anyway, I haven't quite run out of battery yet. It's still flashing, so it's still recording. I'm over 17 minutes, but I'm going to go and upload this now. I can upload this on the computer and see what it looks like. Hopefully it's not too dark. Hopefully I'm not in the dark. But I'm quite pleased with this video. I'm inside 18 minutes, and the battery's not stopped working. But yeah. Anyway, I'll let you go, and hopefully you can hear me and see me at the same time. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you later.